Hey, it's your friend CJ here, and this is my team builder for week 6 of the UBL. We are going up against Styx of the Token Minorities. If you guys aren't familiar with Token Minorities, go down to the description below and check out that damn channel because it is one of the best Pokemon channels on YouTube, without a doubt. Styx is not the only person making content over there. It's also Jolt, Danza, Matty Brolic, I guess. I actually don't know if he's still making videos or not, but they just recently added 3 new people as well to their original roster. They added Johnny GB, Uzi Gunner, and Goldoa Dragon. So they're doing all sorts of great stuff over there. Draft League, Pokemon TCG, ROM hack reviews, Twitch streaming, all sorts of awesome stuff. So definitely go check it out. And of course, as always, all of the coaches from the UBL are down in the description below. So definitely make sure you give that a look. I recorded this once already. I've actually already played the battle, but I didn't like my thought process in the first video, so I thought I would redo it. Also, I was having like some... I wasn't feeling well. I was having like some illness during the thing, so I thought it would just be good to go ahead and redo. So thanks for bearing with me. I just wanted to give you that full disclosure. So let's go over this roster now. Styx does have on his team a Mega Aerodactyl, Alolan Persian, Scolipede, Mew, Porygon Z, Como-O, Magmortar, Gardevoir, Seismitoad, Decidueye, and Magnezone. So he recently made some transactions to his team. He had a different squad with like Mega Scizor and stuff like that recently. But I think at the beginning of week 5, he made some swaps. He added the PZ, the Magnezone, and the Mega Arrow. And this makes his team a whole lot scarier to deal with. The Aerodactyl in particular, because the combination of Arrow and Scolipede really breaks down my team. I don't have many good checks to dealing with those 2 Mons, which is definitely a bummer. So I have to construct my team in such a way that I have multiple checks to both of those Mons. But like for example, I have Shukaberry Heatran. He could just go for Earthquake with Arrow, and then he can come in with Scolipede and wear down my, my Heatran's already worn down. He can just take it out with Scolipede that way. He has lots of ways of just wearing down my checks with other Mons. Like, if he can't win with Arrow or Scolipede, it could be Gardevoir. So, like, for example, you look at Scarf Gardevoir versus my team. Scarf Gardevoir is extremely, extremely scary. I'm not really looking forward to having to deal with. He can use Scolipede to wear down my checks, like Venomoth and Heatran, and both of those, if they're weakened enough, really don't do well versus Scarf Gardevoir. Same thing with like Mew or PZ, like Scarf PZ with Tri-Attack, really scary. So, and like all of these Mons, like they all pressure Heatran mainly. That's the #1 thing that's pressured. So I have to be really careful with Heatran. And my secondary checks are not necessarily the best. So I just have to be really careful with all of those. And I think in a perfect situation, I would put myself into a good offensive position, so that way he's never like in the dominating offensive position. So we'll have to see how that works out. We have to kind of make some switches, make some aggressive switches to put ourselves in favorable situations. So anyway, let's look at the team that we've brought to try and beat Styx. And we'll start off with my main win con that I'm expecting for this game, and that is a Rock Polish Necrozma with 3 attacks, so Photon Geyser, Signal Beam, and Earth Power. So, besides a few potentially like bulky Mons, like AV Gardevoir, I guess certain like Seismitoads or Decidueye sets can take one from this Necrozma. This really just goes in. Like, if I can get into a late game situation with this Necrozma, get up a Rock Polish, that would be really amazing. So, yeah, just it's such good coverage versus his team. The only thing that I think that's really, really reliable versus this Necrozma is Mew. But like the nice thing is that Mew in this matchup is sort of forced to be physically defensive to deal with Lopunny. And so I'm hoping that I can pressure that Mew with the Lopunny and get it into range of Signal Beam easy peasy. And again, same goes for some of his bulkier Mons like Decidueye and Seismitoad and Gardevoir and things like that. But yeah, we have enough speed investment on this thing to outspeed a Scarf Persian if we need. It also happens to outspeed +1 Scolipede. Which is, very likely given that Speed Boost is really the only good ability that Scolipede runs. I don't think I've seen like a Poison Point set. I guess if you wanted to do like Swords Dance, Baton Pass, and you can't pass speed in most leagues. You could do like Poison Point and then pass Swords Dance, but there is no stat passing in UBL at all. It's just Dry Pass or Sub Pass. So anyway, most likely, I guess what I'm saying is that it's gonna be Speed Boost, and we have to have Speed +1, so that's nice. Then we made ourselves have a pretty good Life Orb number. We have the most amount of HP while still taking the most, taking like a more minimal amount of recoil from Life Orb. So like I said, I expect that my Lopunny is going to be able to pressure his Mew quite easily, and the set that we have to do that is Toxic Facade, High Jump Kick, and Healing Wish. So it should be like a Fizz Def Mew, probably Rocky Helmet, which is kind of good because that means it's not leftovers, which means Toxic that I'm packing on the set is going to do more and more residual damage. The nice thing with Mew is because it does have Synchronize, when I Toxic it, the Toxic will trace back onto Lopunny, and then that powers up my Facade, and so with Facade, I can almost guaranteed two-shot a physically defensive Mew with my Adamant Nature. When you take into account that he is going to be taking Toxic Recoil, hopefully I'll have up Rocks at some point in the match. So yeah, I don't think that like a physically defensive Mew is. I think it's really likely. I think that I've got a pretty good set to deal with it. So that's pretty nice. Healing Wish is mainly there because. Like I said, like a lot of my defensive mons are really pressured, so it'd be nice to give those mons a second life. Especially when you consider that Lopunny is going to be getting whittled pretty quickly by Toxic and by Rocky Helmet damage on Mew. So I thought I might go with Drain Punch in that last slot to give myself some more recovery, to give myself more longevity. But like Lopunny doesn't need to win this game, it just needs to weaken Mew mainly and other annoying stuff like Toad. Like if he's got a full HP Toad and he brings it in versus Lopunny trying to take 1 HJK, I'm gonna click it because I just need the damage. So anyway, yeah. So Healing Wish is there just to provide more defensive support. And then next I do have a Choice Banded Sneasel. So this is here to again support Necrozma by really threatening Mew. So. You know, obviously we have the Stab Knockoff, which is going to be able to do tremendous damage. Like I said, you know, I'm really expecting Rocky Helmet. If he wants to run Colbur, then fine. That's actually good for me because that gives my Lopunny more longevity. But Rocky Helmet, I think, would be his item of choice. Offensive Ice is extremely good versus his team. Magnezone and Magmortar are his only resists. And Magmortar doesn't really resist. It probably still takes like 50% from Icicle Crash, if we're being honest, because it has very poor Fizz Def. So one thing I could see coming though is like a Mach Punch Magmortar, because that's obviously going to one-shot Sneasel. So anyway, offensive Ice very good, knockoff good for threatening Mew. Brick Break is there just in the last slot because another decent check is Fur Coat, physically defensive Persian. And then it also hits Magnezone for pretty good damage. I could have gone Low Kick, but Brick Break gave me the best combination of damage against both of them. Like, Low Kick does more to Magnezone, but it does way less to Persian, so I thought it was just the best way to go. So those are the main offensive threats this game. Now let's look at the defensive core and see how we're going to deal with all of his overwhelming threats. So first off, this is a pretty, I think, a pretty standard Quagsire set for a team like this, where he has lots of setup options like SD Scolipede, Home Claws, Aerodactyl, things like that. Just going to be packing Fizz Def on Aware. We have Protect because Styx has really been favoring the Savage Spin Out on Scolipede. And so I want to be able to take as little damage as possible from Savage Spin Out. And so Protect to take a fourth of the damage from that seems like the best way to do that. Recover, pretty self-explanatory. And the Waterfall Earthquake are my two moves. It does leave me walled by Decidueye. Like, I guess I could run Ice Punch over Earthquake, but I think that overall Earthquake's a little better. Just because it does, like, pretty good damage versus Como-O, does the maximum amount of damage versus Magnezone. I could have also gone with Toxic in that slot, but I have plenty of other mons for Toxic. Toxic would really only be good for, like, Decidueye, but I have other mons to pressure Decidueye, so not a huge deal in my opinion. So yeah, very straightforward spread, nothing really to elaborate on with that. I have a mostly specially defensive Heatran, Stealth Rock, Toxic, Lava Plume, Flash Cannon. Quite a lot of special attack investment on this, actually. So the reason for that is because he doesn't need to run a fully... he doesn't need to run like a max speed arrow to beat me. He can run like a very slow, not very slow, but like slow by arrows standards. He can like get by with minimal speed investment, I guess is what I'm saying. So if he wants to guaranteed outspeed Jolly Lopunny, he can bring like 156 EVs in HP and then just put like 100 EVs in speed with a Jolly Nature. It is possible that he goes Adamant, expecting my Adamant Lopunny, because I don't have any reason not to run Adamant Lopunny. But, like, you know, we're just going to try and, like, pick the most likely option. And so, again, that is, like, a 156 or so HP investment with 252 attack and then enough speed for for Jolly Lopunny. So with that spread in mind, we've put enough special attack investment that Flash Cannon will do 75% min to that sort of Aerodactyl. So that's why we have this spread. We have a little bit of speed on here. It's mostly to dodge speed creeping from annoying stuff like Seismitoad. But it also does outspeed a 0-speed Magmortar. For some reason, he brings 0-speed Magmortar. So it was worth just putting a little bit of extra speed in V's just in case a situation like that arose. We have Shuka Berry, so that way we could survive a hit from Heatran, or sorry, not from Heatran, from a Scolipede or Aerodactyl. But mainly, I want to use this to check his Gardevoir and his PZ, because they are both very scary. Like I said, I can get into a late game situation very easily where either of those mons could swoop up my team with like Choice Scarf sets. And PZ actually, like, it outspeeds most of my team, even without a Choice Scarf. It's just Sneasel and Lopunny that deal with it. So that's definitely a scary thought. So I just need to keep Heatran relatively healthy, or I need to Healing Wish it up in order to deal with that. So then last but not least, we do have Venomoth with a kind of funky EV spread, rocking a Payapa Berry, Dual Stab, Roost, Defog. So I really want Defog because I know that Styx really likes hazards. I saw last week versus his opponent, who was Deebs, he brought spikes on his Scolipede. I'm very worried about him bringing something similar this week. He could also bring T-Spikes, and Venomoth will, of course, absorb those, so that's very nice. Because we do resist the dual stabs of Scolipede, like, this doesn't make us a great check, but it sort of makes us a bit of a check. It takes just a little bit of pressure off of the Quagsire and the Heatran. Mainly, I want this to lure in things like Mew and Gardevoir, because we should be able to pretty easily live any sort of moves from those two mons, thanks to our Payapa Berry, and we can hit either of them back with a super effective stab move, so that's very nice. And then because of this, like, the general investment that I have on this mon, I wouldn't say it's natural bulk, it doesn't have very good natural bulk, but because of my investment, I can also switch in on things like defensive Decidueye, I can kind of switch in on defensive Seismitoad, things like that. So that's kind of the thought process there. I wanted a way to deal with hazards. I wanted a way to like have basically a secondary check to Gardevoir and Mew. I wanted a way to have like a little bit of a secondary check to Scolipede as well. So Venomoth seemed like the best all-around option for that. You know, in addition to the stab moves in general, hit the team pretty hard. He doesn't have anything that quad resists bug or poison, I don't think. We can take a quick look. Yeah, none of these things quad resist any of its moves. So yeah, it's got neutral coverage versus the entire team, so that's very nice. So yeah, that, ladies and gents, is going to be the team. I'm pretty proud. I was able to get through that team builder pretty quickly. I hope you guys are looking forward to this battle. I'm extremely nervous because I think this is my worst matchup so far this season. Like I said, he just has so many ways to offensively wear me down. If he doesn't win with Arrow, he'll be Scolipede. If he doesn't win with Scolipede, it'll be Gardevoir. If he doesn't win with Gardevoir, he's got to be PZ. So on and so forth. It could be even Como-O, like Dragon Dance Como-O is pretty spooky. Quagsire kind of deals with that, but not really, because like Dragon Claw still does a shitload of damage. So anyway, make sure that you check out the battle tomorrow, and it will be going up around the same time. Or maybe it'll go up a little earlier. I don't know. Just stay tuned. Keep those sub boxes refreshed, that way you don't miss out on this game. And yeah, while you're down, on the video, make sure you go to the description and check out all of our coaches. And make sure you drop a like on this video and leave a sub so you can stay up to date on all my latest and greatest Pokemon content. So until the next time, I will see you guys later.